I'll tell you one thing. What happens is a lot of times when I keep watching these short films which students send me or somebody tells me, why don't you have a look at what I've done? Uh, I find that you, the people try and take the easiest way out. In filmmaking, shooting is the easiest part of filmmaking. It's the easiest part. Make sure that your script is correct. Okay. I mean, bust your head on the script. I'm telling you, that is the most important thing. Once that is done, spend a lot of time looking at your locations, understanding the light. Understand which side. I mean, when I go to a location, I've got a compass in my hand. I'm always looking at east west. I've got a sun path. I'm trying to figure out now. These things are available on any Android phone today. Yeah? You know what a sun path is? Yeah. You know, there are apps which you just, so I stand in the place and move my just phone around and I know exactly 3 बजे मेरा सूरज कहाँ होगा, 12 बजे कहाँ होगा, सुबह 7 बजे कैसा होता है. And based on that, I decide what time we should come and shoot. The dirtiest kind of light that you can shoot in is the horrible Indian top sun. Okay? In India, for us to shoot between 11 and 3:30 in the afternoon should be banned. Because it's really terrible. It's really terrible. The sun is bang on top of it, extremely hard, and you get these patches like this under the eyes. Can you see this? And you need to keep filling that up because you look like phantom walking around with little Quran on the side, you know. So you have to be very, very careful about that. So therefore, when you are shooting, now you have to worry now what kind of light do I need, you know. So hang in a minute. That's my top light gone, but I've got a half light coming in on my face. You understand? But you need to get your exposures correct. So what is the blue I'm getting on my face is the blue coming in from the outside. That's the natural light, and the blue of the computer screen is popping on my face. Okay. So what is important is how you place your characters, how you use the sunlight. If there are windows, how you should use it. See, because very often you might see, if I'm shooting, I might take a very hard patch of light on the body, but the face is soft. So you diffuse the light off the face. But उसमें क्या होता है कि I still have a backup of a lot of lights. So I know how to fill up, how much to fill up. But as a amateur filmmaker, where you have a lot of issues about not having enough light, but yet you want the picture to look nice, look at half lights. Okay? And don't shoot with the sun going too high. Keep the sun at 45 degrees around. Have you ever seen why films shot in London or films shot in New York look so good? Because they never have top sun. Through the year, the sun is moving at 45 degrees. So you never get these deep shadows and stuff like that. So next time you're watching a foreign film, look at it. Okay. Similarly, now all our Indian films, especially if you see the good web series and all that are going on, is very. Has anybody seen a web series called Thinkistan? No, that's something I shot last year, and it's got it's shot in a huge space. It was almost a 9,000 square feet set, which was an office. You know, it's supposed to be on Nariman Point, you know, in Bombay, a high-rise space and advertising office. So what we did was we actually lit it for two parts. I lit it for a east-west. You know, so we could just switch off some lights and put on some lights. So when the evening was there, some other lights would come on. So how you utilize the light. So you need to think. You can't come to the set and say, "Batao kya shot hai." I mean, I spend days on location. I spend hours thinking about how a scene should be lit. You know, look at the sun positioning. You will never find, unless you want to shoot it hard. If I'm doing Gangs of Wasipur, there are scenes which are shot in heavy, hard light coming from the top, but then the scene demands that. You want to depict heat. You want to depict hard people. I think so. You use that kind of a light. But if you're going to use a normal kind of a storytelling, you should try and make the visual softer. Softer. So a lot of your picture and how you're going to shoot a picture depends immensely on what your script is. Therefore, your every lighting is always going to be based differently. You can't have the same lighting for every film that you shoot. You don't wear the same T-shirt every day. When you go for a party, you change. No? So that's sort of the thing. You need to be able to decode a script. We spend a lot of time with the director talking, finding out what is in his mind. Because once you start shooting, and if you made certain mistakes in the beginning, then very often it's very difficult to backtrack back. So therefore, this is something that was talked to me by my cinematography ka professor, Kulkarni Saab. I remember I was just entered second year and we were doing studio exercises. And from morning I had been lighting up a scene and it was really looking shit. It was bad news. There was supposed to be a single source, but ये wall पे shadow जा रही थी, वहाँ wall पे shadow जा रही थी, जो wall पे shadow आ रही थी, I used to add a light, वो shadow kill करने के लिए, for that light would create another shadow on some other wall. So I think about 2 hours later, Kulkarni Saab walked into the studio and he looked at me and said, क्या कर रहा है? So I told him, sir, वो ये shadow था तो ये light लगाए, वो light लगाए तो वहाँ shadow, वहाँ light लगाए तो वहाँ का shadow. So he said, जब गलतियाँ करते हो ना, switch off everything and start again. So even at this stage today, if I feel that things have not gone wrong and I'm still say I'm 2 hours deep into the lighting, I say, okay, lights off, guys. Let's rethink. This is not working.